Alright, so I'm not gonna do gameplay in this video. I'm just gonna talk and sit here and talk about this, cause the easiest way I'm gonna be able to say everything I want to say. So if I start playing games, I'll lose sight of the topic, and this is kind of an important topic. For those of you who don't know, I have this girl that I talk about a lot named Kaylee. Well, me and her were talking and everything. She doesn't realize that she upsets me to the point that it hurts sometimes. Like, she really just doesn't know that she's doing it, and that's the bad part about it. It's because not only does she not know it, but when I get upset at her for upsetting me, she doesn't understand that. That's why I'm getting upset at her. Because as far as she's aware, she didn't do anything. Because she doesn't realize that she's doing something, and it's annoying to me that she doesn't notice it. Because if she noticed it, then we wouldn't have any problems at all. But like, she started doing little things every so often. Like, after a while, she stopped telling me. She told me that I couldn't use certain nicknames anymore. Then she started telling me I wasn't allowed to ask for hugs anymore. And she slowly started limiting the things I could do to the point that I basically couldn't do anything like what me and her did when we were together. And it irritates me because then she tries to tell me that I was the one that pushed her away, and that's why she ended up going after some other dude. And that just it bothers me because she doesn't realize all the things that she did to push me away. Like, there were so many things, and I still tried to accidentally pushed a button, and I still tried to like stay with her and talk to her and be there, talk to her and all this other stuff. And I still tried really hard. And I mean, but like, really, like, she doesn't want other people to know, but she's an extremely fragile person. Like, she gets upset over everything, which is why it's really easy to accidentally upset her. And she doesn't like telling people when she's upset. She just gets angry, and I think sometimes even she doesn't know why she's upset at something. So sometimes you just have to like talk to her and talk about certain topics until something just like pops up, and then you've resolved the actual problem. Because with her, you almost have to like read her. And like, I used to be able to read her pretty well, but then she just kind of like shut off towards me after I made up that lie about manipulating her. She kind of just like shut off all of her emotions towards me. Like, I didn't really like manipulate her, to say. Like, I told her that so that way she would think that she was manipulatable. Because she was kind of manipulatable, and the person that she was with at the time was manipulating her really bad, and she couldn't tell. So I told her that it was so easy, that I had done it to her before, and she hadn't noticed. But honestly, I didn't. And even if I did, I wouldn't have told her if I had, because if I had, then I mean, she'd probably be in my lap right now if I had actually manipulated her. Because if I had actually manipulated her, and I have had things like that before where I've just tried to manipulate someone as hard as I could, like, when I do that to someone, it's like instant putty. I could do that to her, but I don't want to do that to her, because then, if I do that to her, it won't feel real to me. And that's the problem I had with manipulating people before. As soon as you start doing that, then you don't know if the relationship's real or not. As soon as that happens, you start questioning if they like you for you or if you manipulate them. And that's why I haven't actually done that in any of my relationships in a really long time. Actually, in any relationship, really. I used to... This is a really, really long story, but I used to kind of do something kind of like that with business type stuff a long time ago when I was in high school. I actually used to sell people soda when I was in high school. I'm always making money in some way. Like, I literally never stopped making money ever. When I was in school, I used to sell soda for like $1. Like, I literally get the sodas in like a huge case of like 30 of them for like $4 or something. And I'd sell them each. I remember it's a 30, it's either 32 or 34 pack, I can't remember. But it's a 30 something pack, and I remember doing the math, and like they were like 35 cents each. So whatever 35 is times whatever that is, I think it's like $4 something. Somewhere between $4 and $6. I don't know. But yeah, it's like 85 cents each, like per can. And I used to sell them for like $1 each. And that's like over 4 times. Not 4, it was over 3 times what it cost. No, not quite. Yeah, it was $1. Yeah, it was more than double, I know that much. It was more than double. It was almost triple. Like, it's 6 cents short of being triple. 6 pennies. Like, if it was 33 cents a can, it would literally have been 3 times the value. But yeah, I used to do that when I was in high school, and I used a lot of persuasion with that when it came to selling stuff in high school. And over about a month, I made about like $30 or something. Which is pretty cool. I make a lot more than that now, though. I still do types of marketing. Still waiting for a return on some investments I made a couple months ago. Business life sucks. Well, on the bright side, I can never get fired because one of my designs was like, okay, so for those who don't know, I do design stuff, but the designing I do, I'll design something, and then the company, like, I do firearms designs primarily. I do sometimes do mechanical stuff, but I primarily do firearms designs. I make a design on basically on a 3D program. It makes like 3-dimensional objects in a computer, and it's the same kind of stuff you use to take the program, you make it into a file, and you can put it on a 3D printer, and then the 3D printer will make the object for you. It's basically that simple. But with firearms, you cannot 3D print a firearm because the materials can't handle the stress of an actual firearm. And you'd get little bits of plastic sticking out of your face if you tried to shoot a plastic gun, because that's the only thing 3D printers can do right now. There is a weird magnesium blend 3D printer. I can't remember where it is, but it's like a magnesium whatever. It's like extremely fine magnesium powder. You take a laser of some kind and you hit the magnesium powder, and it basically is the same thing as a 3D printer. But it's super fancy. Super fancy. Yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for listening to me so far. But yeah, like, she will do things. Like, she'll do things to push me away, and she doesn't realize it, and it just bothers me. But, like, I used persuasion for a lot of things, but I never actually used it on her. I just told her that because I wanted her to... That technically by itself is actually a type of persuasion technique. You basically make someone believe that they are susceptible to something, so that way they try to prevent themselves from being further susceptible to it. I basically told her that she's extremely manipulatable, and by convincing her that she was manipulatable, I told her that I had manipulated her before, so that way she believed even more. Then I told her that someone was doing it to her, so that way she would then try to prevent that from happening. But as a result, she also tried to prevent me from being able to manipulate her again. But since I had never done that in the first place, she kind of just blocked me out emotionally, and that caused repercussions. It caused really bad repercussions, and it made me angry because she told me I wasn't allowed to call her sweet names. I used to call her Sweetie. I used to call her Lioness. I also called her, this name's probably not gonna make sense to some of you, but I used to call her Viagra. Yeah. Just don't think about that one. Yeah. I don't know anymore. I don't get as upset as I used to. Like, when I used to talk about these things, I used to get really upset. But, like, when she just... Like, and then when I try to talk to her about all the stuff she does that upsets me, she's like, no, you hurt me. I never did anything to you. And she always says that, and it just makes me angry because she's like, why are you pretending like I'm the mean person? I'm the victim here. I'm like, no, we're both mean to each other, and we're both victims of each other. That we're pretty much equal in this. But she keeps trying to monopolize the victim role. I mean, she is like, she just pretty much it's really complicated, but she just loves to be the victim. I don't know why. And she loves to try and tell me that she was the perfect person and I was the big bad meanie all the time. and I don't know why. It's just that she was not the best behaved girlfriend I've ever had. Not at all. There were ones that were a lot better behaved than she was, but they weren't as... It's hard to explain, but she just is different from all the rest of them in her own special way. And I like her a lot. It's just that she tends to be meaner towards me. Like when we first met, we first started talking, she was amazing. Then I got this really weird feeling about her as we went on. I started learning about these other sides to her, and I didn't like it. But she was still the person that I originally liked, so I just ignored it for like a while, and it started getting more and more irritating. Because there were like other parts to her that you don't know unless you hang around her for a really long time. She has a whole bunch of different sides, and sometimes like one side will go away for a couple weeks while one side's there, and it's just like, it's hard to explain. But I'm pretty sure in a couple weeks she's gonna change sides again, and then this new boyfriend she has, he's not gonna like it. Cause she's like, oh, whatever, he's perfect for me, and I'm like, just wait. Cause I mean, she's not the best person when it comes to relationships. She's not the best relationship maker in the world. I mean, she's an amazing girl, but she doesn't know how to handle relationships properly. Like, she doesn't understand how a relationship is supposed to work. Like, all my other girlfriends, they understood. I mean, but she still wants to do everything herself. She doesn't understand that when you're with someone else, you have to do stuff together. You can't do stuff by yourself and just leave the other person alone all the time. You have to do stuff together. You can't just run off and do your own thing all the time. You have to let the other person in on what's going on in your life and all these other things, and she's never understood that. And it makes me angry that she didn't let me in a little bit more. But she never just let me in on what was going on with her. I just kind of had to like guess. She didn't tell me things, and it always upset me that she wouldn't tell me. I had to like pry it out of her. And then, funny thing, one of the reasons she tried to tell me that she was leaving me and that she wanted to check out this other guy, she tried to tell me that I wasn't emotional enough and that I didn't talk to her when she needed emotional help, and that she said it so much that her boyfriend actually started telling me that. Like, can you believe that? I think her boyfriend's as naive as she is. Holy crap. I mean, I talked to him. He seems like the kind of dude that's extremely impressionable, if you understand what that means. Like, he's the kind of person that's like, you could convince him of just about anything. After a few minutes of talking to him, I can't remember what it's called. I think the word's airhead, I want to say. I think that's the term I'm thinking of. But yeah, he's just... I tried talking to him, and he's just not really there all the way. It's kind of hard to explain, but like I tried to talk to him. I did a whole bunch of different tests. I like to test people, and he failed a lot of tests that I gave him. Like, if he was actually good for her, then I might have let him just stay, but jeez, nothing good can come from him. I mean, I don't think he's not that smart. I mean, I talked to him for a couple months, and he just... I mean, Kaylee's a little bit smarter than him. Maybe that's why she likes him. Maybe he makes her feel smart. I don't know. The most annoying thing was she was actually going back to study for a job, and then he got involved, and then she stopped. Like, that's annoying. Like, she studies for one job, and she quits it. Then she studies for another job, and then she quits it. And it's so annoying. It's just like when she promises to come visit me, something always pops up, and she quits it. And it's just so annoying. Like, I wish there was some way that she just knew how I felt. Like, she just... Ugh. Sometimes I get irritated, and I say really mean things because I'm irritated. But usually after I say them, I feel really bad about it. Like, I try to just keep it all to myself. Because, like, if I just say the things in my head to myself, then it's fine, and I can just keep calm. Honestly, I think that she finally realized in her head that she was never going to be able to get up the courage to come all the way over here and see me. I think she finally realized that in her head, and that's why she forced herself to move on. And that's why she started pushing me away, so that way she could move on. And then she, like, lies to herself about it, so that way she doesn't feel bad. I mean, like, I asked her to come and see me a few times, and then she said she would. Like, I mean, I would have gone to see her, but there are problems here where I am, where I can't. Like, I literally cannot go see here. It's complicated, but there's a lot of problems to where I can't go and see her, and it's annoying. And if I did go to see her, I'd probably like, I don't like to. I never told her this, but I'm pretty sure that I could beat up her and her boyfriend at once. Because I tried to tell her this before, but she didn't believe me, like usual. When I tell her stuff that's too hard for her to believe, she just doesn't believe me. I learned karate when I was a kid. And after that, I learned a little bit of Sambo. Sambo is a Russian martial art. It's one of the best martial arts in the world. One of the best martial arts in the world. Of all the martial arts, it is quite possibly one of the best. Right up there next to Jiu-Jitsu. And Muay Thai. There's also Krav Maga. I never told her that, but I did learn those later. Well, actually, I did tell her, but she didn't believe me, so I guess. Yeah, she doesn't believe me when I tell her things, and it irritates me. I try to tell her things, and if she doesn't believe it, then automatically, if she can't believe it, then it's automatically a lie to her. And she calls me a liar and gets mad at me for lying to her because she thinks I lied. When it's really just something that she can't bring herself to believe. Like, she can't believe. Like, she refuses to believe that I could beat her up, and I don't know why. I mean, like, I wouldn't do that to her, but I could. And, like, she always refused to believe that. And if I wanted to, I mean, and her boyfriend couldn't protect her either. I mean, I wouldn't hurt her because I like her a lot, but if I wanted to, he could not stop me. Like, for those of you who don't know me personally, I am an extremely fit person. I have a lot of muscles. Like, when you hear me talking on a video game and I'll see some dude covered in muscles and I'll be like, oh, that looks like me. I'm not as much joking as you think I am. Like, which reminds me, I used to send Kaylee pictures of my muscles, like, all the time. And then one day she told me she didn't want me to anymore, which is another thing that she did to push me away. Which is annoying and upsetting. I mean, like, if she was to message me right now, then I would probably message her and we'd probably have a nice conversation. As long as she didn't say anything to upset me, because there are certain things that she does say a lot that upset me. And I try to tell her about it, but she just brings them up willy-nilly and doesn't realize it until after she said something about it and it's already upset me. Because she can't stop herself from doing certain things, which is another thing I really hated about her. She didn't have any self-control. She literally could not control herself from doing certain things, which is one of the things that irritates me. It was also a contributing reason to why she can't ever bring herself to come see me. Which is one more thing that irritates me about her. Like, there used to be nothing that upset me about her, but then the longer I knew her, I found more and more problems that she had. Like, 90% of the problems that are with her would go away if she just come here to see me. But I don't think she's ever gonna build up the balls to come see me. The worst part is she goes and, like, if I ask a friend to message her and, like, they message her or whatever for me, then she just goes and tells them all this stuff about, oh, how she's the victim and a whole bunch of other annoying things. And then they just get this totally messed up idea. And then they're mad at me about something, and then I have to explain everything to them. And then they don't know who to believe, and then I have to find someone new to message her. And that's happened a few times now. I mean, I even gave her my mom's email so she could email my mom and ask what my job was. My mom told her what my job was, and my mom came in here and told me exactly what she told her. Because I didn't really want my mom to tell her what my job was, but like after she told her, then I'm like, oh what, you know what, the cat's out of the bag, I'll just tell her. And, you know, I don't mind talking about it. Because the whole reason I didn't talk about it because I didn't want her to know, because I was afraid she was going to be upset about it. Because she doesn't like gun related stuff. But yeah, I like to design firearms. And if I do get a design that people like, I have a patent made for it and everything. I usually like to patent all my stuff pretty much right away. But after I get the patent for it and everything, then if I show the designs to people and there's a manufacturer that likes the design, then I can contract them to make it, because I still have the patent, so they have to pay me to make it so I can give them what's called a licensing. They have a licensing fee where they have to pay me to make it, and I allow them to make it if they pay me a certain predetermined amount of money. Yeah, I might be going to my sister's house later today to actually do some more designing because I have the software on her computer because my computer is broken. So I have to go to her house and use her computer and everything to do it. But yeah, I use the computer software program AutoCAD. Yeah. I don't even know anymore. But yeah. I don't know anymore. I really don't know. I mean, I like her, it's just there's a lot of challenges that comes with her. And I don't mind challenges, it's just she doesn't seem to be that much of a fighter. And it upsets me a lot that she doesn't want to fight. She just wants things to basically be handed to her on a plate. She doesn't want to have to work for what she wants at the time. Like, if she has to work for it, then she'd rather just go get something else. Like, that's what it seems like over half the time. It's just upsetting to me. But yeah, guys, this is pretty much it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to leave now. My controller's all the way over here. Sorry, gosh. He got away from me. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. But for those of you who don't know, I'm talking about my ex-girlfriend, Kaylee. A lot of stuff happened between me and her, and a lot of it she doesn't like to take any credit for. Even though she deserves credit for some of it. She likes to pretend like she's just a victim in all of this and I'm the big bad monster or whatever. At least that's what she's apparently told her boyfriend and some of my friends, which is Peachy Key. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.